Off the rails, first responders scrambling in Nashville this evening after several train cars wind up in the dirt rather than on the tracks.
This all happened this afternoon in the Berry Hill area around Fessy Park Road and Berry Road. Fire crews have been on the scene since 3 o'clock this afternoon, making sure there is no danger to anyone around that area.
Initially, there was some concern about organic matter spilling onto the ground. All right, we've got team coverage for you as crews begin the process of getting those trains removed tonight.
Let's start with Brittany Weiner tonight at the crash scene. Brittany, that spill wound up, thankfully, not being dangerous.
Tom and Tracy, the fire department telling us tonight that spill was actually vegetable oil, and it ended up not being a lot of oil, so they were able to contain it quickly. Telling me tonight there was never any threat to the public. Now, I really want to take a look at the scene over here because there's been a lot more activity just within the last 30 minutes out here. You can see this new equipment that's been brought in. It's these railroad cars that appear to have cranes attached to them, and they're actually attaching parts of them to some of these overturned rail cars so they can hopefully move them out of this area. That other thing that we're seeing is welders actually cutting through part of the track, and then this backhoe, if you can see it over here, is actually ripping parts of the damaged track out of the area. So obviously they're trying to clean this up quickly where there's some significant damage to the track, and also try and move these 5 overturned rail cars. Now, there's also some good news. They've made some significant progress because they were able to move the cars that were right near 8th Avenue South and Berry Road, so no longer affecting traffic, people who are heading home on their evening commute. A lot of different agencies out here right now investigating, working to clean all of this up, and many people have also come by. They just want to see this derailment for themselves. Just very happy it wasn't any worse.
I always remember going into the little post office down here, and it's right on the railroad tracks. And the trains, would go by, and I thought, wow, if one ever derailed right here, this would all be wiped out. So at least it wasn't any closer to any of these businesses.
And as I said, some very significant damage to the track out here. It's a little hard to see now that the sun has gone down, but actually part of the track is popped up off the ground. Now, CSX did release a statement. They're the ones who own this track out here, saying in part this train was on its way to Georgia, and luckily no one was injured in this derailment. I did follow up with CSX to ask about recent inspections of this track, seeing if any work has been done, if any issues were found recently. I also asked them if the severe weather that we saw this week, we saw a lot of rain in the Nashville area, if any of that possibly played a significant role in this derailment. They told me they have no other information to release at this time, and that this derailment is still under investigation. Tom and Tracy?
But those are great questions. Brittany Weiner, thank you very much. News 4 also got video of moments right before the crash. Now look closely here at this video. You can see the train right there bump up, and then you see that little spark there by the wheel, I guess. News 4's Cameron Taylor left the scene to go talk to the woman who shot that video. Cameron.
Yeah, Tracy and Tom, this is not something you would expect to see on your way to work. We drove about 25 minutes to talk with a woman who captured all of this on her cell phone. Let's take a look at that video. She was the first car to stop at the train crossing on Craighead Street. That's right by 65. And she was one of the first to see this train go by. She saw some dust and smoke, and then she saw that wheel jump up as well. She saw some debris on the ground, and we asked her, what went through your head when you saw all this? Here's what she had to say.
Yeah, I was a little alarmed, and I didn't really think much of it at first until the train went by and I saw all the debris on the ground. There was a lot of ripped up asphalt, a little bit of wood it looked like, and a bunch of rocks, and it was just kind of covering where the roads went over, and I thought, oh, that's not normal.
Now, she mentioned that the train did not stop. It kept going from where she was on Craighead Street right by 65. And she says she tends to capture trains going by on her cell phone from time to time. But again, never imagined that she would capture something like this, and then learning that several cars would derail as a result of what she saw and captured on video.